Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shani, and on this channel we just talk about everything that's motivational, everything that's uplifting, so that we can become the best version of ourselves. We are capable of so much and our mind is so limiting, but look, we're gonna get into that later. I have my cup of tea and all my holiday decor, and we're gonna be talking about our winter arc. So what is winter arc? If you're like me, you're probably confused because I was like, what is this arc thing everyone's talking about? Like, what arch, whatever. To sum it up, it just means that it is the darkest, coldest time of the year and it's time to get shit done. That's it. So yeah, let's dive into it. In the next 90 days, you are gonna be the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. So mark your calendars for today. You're watching this video today. Write that date down, because in 90 days, you are gonna become the best version of yourselves. You might be asking yourself, how the heck am I gonna become this other person in 90 days? That's not enough time, right? You will be so surprised with what your mind, yourself, like what you can do with just 30 days. So 90 days is definitely sufficient. So I'm a pharmacist and my husband is an engineer. That was all we did for the first like 2 or 3 years of our career. And all of a sudden, you know, we're like talking about our future. We wanted to do real estate. I kid you not, we pulled the trigger, found a mentor. We found our first property within 30 days of declaring we wanted to do real estate. 3 years later, we own X amount of properties and we are doing what we said we were gonna do. Why I'm telling you that is because every time you wanna do something new, it can be very scary. But if you put your mind to it and you declare it, I promise you, you will achieve that goal. I promise you. So our first topic, know your worth and love yourself. I cannot stress how important this is. I know there's a lot of things that we want to accomplish in life, but the very first thing you need to do before accomplishing anything is to love yourself and know what you're worth. That means you need to stop saying anything negative to put yourself down. You can be joking and saying these things, but that energy always comes back somehow. Hold on. My throat gets really dry. Any type of comment, phrase that you are saying to jokingly put yourself down, I want you to stop that. It might seem like it's just something small, like, oh yeah, it's just a joke, but you'll be surprised. All these little things actually builds up over time and it becomes you. My husband and I, we just have a rule. We don't say things to put ourselves down, even if it's jokingly. Like, yeah, we roast each other, that's different, right? Our mentor has once asked my husband and I this question. He asked us simply, and let me ask you guys this, who is the most important person to you? Take a second to think about it. Just say who it is right now. So you're probably like, me or my husband, we said each other, or you probably said someone else, like a family member, your mom, your dad. And when we said each other, our mentor goes, wrong. What you should have said is yourself, because if you don't love yourself first, you don't have the capacity or energy to love someone else. So you need to make sure that you put yourself first, love yourself, prioritize yourself, take care of yourself before you can move on to do these other things. I know you probably came into this video thinking, oh yeah, you know, let's start my fitness journey. Let's do this. Yes, you can do that and that can still be on your vision board and still on one of your goals, but your first priority, prioritize yourself, love yourself. If you don't do that, you cannot be there for everyone else. I know there's a lot of issues going on in the world right now. You can't fix it all, but you can fix yourself. Fix yourself first, and once you are able to do that, then maybe you can take on all those other challenges, but you need to prioritize yourself. Next, stop giving a shit what other people think. Do they pay your bills? No. Who cares what others think? You really have to stop letting these opinions get to you. If it's new, it will be cringe, okay? You have to be okay with being cringy. It doesn't matter. Who the hell cares? All of us are gonna die one day. You know, everyone else has their own issues. Everyone has problems that they're going through. They're too worried about themselves than to care about what you're doing. Yeah, if you post something, yeah, if you start something new and you declare it, people are gonna be like, oh my God, what is she doing? What is he doing? Okay, so 5 minutes later, they're probably not thinking about it. They're worried about their own life. If someone is going to exert that energy and that negativity, let them. They obviously have work to do themselves. Who cares? At the end of the day, these people aren't paying your bills. At the end of the day, they're not in control of your own happiness. If people are not supportive of what you're doing, it doesn't make them wrong. You guys are just different. And that's okay. That's part of growth. You just need to start. And I know all of us have things that we've always wanted to do. Me and my husband, we've always wanted to do real estate. And it was really hard for us to pull the trigger. But we did it. Like I said, we bought our first house within 30 days. And 3 years later, we are almost at our goal for the number of properties we want to own. I truly believe that once you stop caring about the opinions of others, you will get far. If I would have listened to everyone that told us not to start real estate, we would still be at 0 properties. And you can't make these people wrong for giving their opinions. That's just how humans are. But at the end of the day, you should take advice from people you look up to, you aspire to be. So for us, we started talking to people that, you know, they're doing what we want to do. And we started surrounding ourselves with like-minded people. And when there are people outside telling you things, they're just telling you because, you know, it's just an opinion. We've had our own family members tell us not to do that. They said like, hey, you should be content with being a pharmacist. You should be content with being an engineer. That doesn't mean they don't love you. That doesn't mean they don't support you. They're just simply giving you an opinion. That's it. What you decide to do is still ultimately up to you. If you want to start something, just start it. If it's in the back of your mind right now, just start it. You might not have all the resources, but if you don't do anything, you're still going to be in the same place you are 90 days from now. Okay? Just start. I think this one is a good example that I can give you. Also correlates to not caring what others think. So I wanted to start running, but I was like, you know what? I'm flat-footed and like, I don't know if it's gonna work well, but I just really wanted to start running. So usually when I go to the gym for my cardio, I usually do Stairmaster, and I just wore my regular running shoes, like nothing crazy. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do Stairmaster. I'm just gonna start running on the treadmill. And I did it. I was like, I don't care what others are thinking. I might look stupid because I also have like knock knees, and anyway, that's another thing. I was like, I'm just gonna start. So I started running, and I'm the type of girl that struggled in track back in school. Like I was the girl that walked because I couldn't run for my life, okay? So yeah, but look, I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter what other people think. You have to just start somewhere, okay? You'll be surprised how far you can go. Like I said, if you don't start now, you're gonna be in the exact same place you are 90 days from now. This is so good. Do you guys drink tea too? I'm drinking this green tea from, I don't know, probably TJ Maxx. It is so good. Now, our next topic is you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. The way our mind is programmed, when we have anxiety, when we have that fear of doing something, that's our mind's way of protecting us and being like, okay, don't do that because this is new. Just do what you're comfortable with. That's how our mind works, our brain works, right? You have to be able to overcome that. Our mind is the biggest limiting factor for everything that we want to accomplish in life. It's not, it really isn't other people's opinion. It's this, it's your mind. If you can overcome that, you will get to your goal with whatever it is. I cannot tell you how many times I have been uncomfortable in my life. I am so happy with where I am in life now. It took a lot. For me, it's almost a blessing to be uncomfortable because that's a sign of growth. I feel like everything can be uncomfortable. Starting a new job, going somewhere new, doing something by yourself. All of that can be so uncomfortable. But how many times have you been able to accomplish something or do something where your mind has told you no and you actually did it? Didn't that feel good? And look at you now. Are you okay? Are you alive and well? Yes, you are okay. You are so capable of doing these things, and you have to tell yourself over and over that I can do this. Be comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. Be comfortable with meeting new people. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is one of the biggest lessons that our mentor has taught us. So when I say us, I say my husband, because we are like one. So this leads us to our next topic. Learn to set boundaries. Boundaries are limits that we set for our time, our energy, and our self-being. They can be physical, emotional, even digital. For us to be able to become the best version of ourselves or to reach our goals, you can't burn yourself out. And to avoid burning yourself out, you have to be able to set these boundaries. You have to learn how to say no. And don't look at you saying no as being rude or rejecting others. That's not what it is. You are saying no because you are protecting yourself. There's many times in life where people will come to you and ask you to do something, right? And how many times have you like not wanted to do that, but you end up doing it and you're like, why did I do that? It's because you couldn't say no. At the end of the day, you have to be somewhat selfish to set these boundaries. And it can be hard at first, especially if you have to say no to family members that are impacting your mental health. Like, it can be very difficult. This is what I always ask myself. If I do this today, am I okay with doing this a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? If the answer is no, then don't do it, okay? Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. You love yourself first before you can love anyone else. You need to be at 110% mentally, physically, just emotionally. You have to be 100% before you can be there for others. Toxic people, toxic conversations, negativity, all of that has to go. I really think setting these boundaries are one of the hardest things to do in the beginning, but once you do it and you get out of the way, it gets easier, I promise you. You're gonna have to walk away from certain people in your life in order to grow. And that's not to make them wrong, that's just you putting yourself first. Another type of boundary you can set is digital boundaries. So if your feed is constantly looking at mukbangs, and I love that. My husband and I are huge foodies and we just love food. But if that's all I'm seeing on my feed, I'm gonna wanna go eat 5 bags of ramen, okay? Even though I love that content, I had to unfollow because I knew it wasn't good for me. It's okay to go on social media and it's okay to get inspired and motivated, but if you know something is unhealthy for you and you're looking at this every single day, it's time to set some boundaries with that and unfollow some of those pages, right? You should also set boundaries with yourself. You have to practice self-awareness. Do not push yourself to the point where you know you're gonna have a breakdown or have an anxiety attack, okay? Push yourself, but not to the point where you're gonna suffer, okay? My husband and I are always about working hard, doing the best we can, but sometimes that can be a negative because we won't know when to stop. You know, we will reward ourselves with, hey, let's go out to eat. Let's go try this new restaurant. Let's go do this together and recharge. It's very important to set those boundaries. Yes, you can be a workaholic and work, but if your own mental health is deteriorating and you're not taking care of your own physical well-being, what's the point of doing all this? I truly believe you will start seeing chain reactions when you set boundaries. These healthy boundaries leads to healthier relationships, allows you to grow, and removes any toxicity that was in your life. The more you are able to do that, before you know it, you're gonna look around and say, wow, This is the life I've created. This is who I am now. Have you guys ever heard of the red car theory? I was just talking to my best friend about this. If you focus on red cars, right, when you're driving, try this. You're only gonna see red cars. You're gonna be like, wow, there's a lot of red cars out there. When my husband and I started real estate, we purchased these fixers, and they are harder to find in Tampa, but they're there. That's all we see now. All we see are fixers. Even our own contractor was like, how are you guys finding these? Like, you guys had just started. And I'm like, this is all we're focused on, that red car. Now all we're seeing are those properties. Whatever you focus on is what you are going to see. So if you're looking at these negative things, that's all you're gonna see. Those are the people you're gonna attract. Negativity, broken people, toxicity. You remove all that and you focus on positivity, happiness, self-growth, health, boundaries. That is all you're gonna see, and that's all you're gonna attract. That's just the facts, okay? So look, you are so strong. In 90 days, you are gonna become someone that you've always aspired to be. Is that your end goal in 90 days? No, but you are gonna be mentally better, healthier, emotionally stronger, and you're gonna be able to set boundaries. Not caring what others think. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I promise you, you will reach your goals. I promise you. Okay, so that wraps up this video. If my content helps you in any way, please like and subscribe. I am so grateful for each one of you, and I really hope my content helps, because I really think we are capable of so much more, and our mind is so limiting, but we are gonna get through this together, okay? Everyone, have a good day. Bye, love you.